You defeated the raiders? Despite your past, we could use someone of your skill. Welcome to the Adura Agara. You may travel with us in exchange for your service. You'll even have the respect of one of our own for as long as you stay. If anyone says otherwise, tell them to speak to me.
Frost Bomb pulses with ice, reducing enemies' resistance. Cold Snap explodes the ice on frozen enemies, dealing a lot of damage in a small area. You can also cast it on a Frost Bolt to explode the bolt and deal damage in a larger area. Cold's armor. Hold down the button for Bone Storm to conjure a mass of bone spikes above. Pain Offering will impale one of your skeletons to empower all your other minions.
It's been too...
The beast is on the move, twisting the desert as it goes, waking ancient dead and unknown horrors alike. The Countess brought it here as part of some nefarious plan. I assume she has allies here. We must track them down and convince them to give up this madness. Those creatures are too coherent and intelligent to be manifestations of corruption. I suspect that they are the descendants of divine tampering. There was a being I once knew in the ancient days, a trickster, who would have appreciated someone to laugh at his...
Forgot that my microphone was muted. That's lovely.
Perfect audience for a sickening jester than a pack of gibbering hyenas. Time is short. Make haste.
Who goes there? Oh, a newcomer to our caravan. I am Shambrin, tradesmith and weapon master for the Adura. Do not hesitate to ask if you require anything. Does the scorpion sting carry less poison at night? In the hopes of taking on fighting duty again, I am still practicing the art of the sword. Red-eyed Nasima, she of the second sight, proved that there is more to combat than mere vision. However, there is still honor in serving the role of tradesmith and weapon master. I served as a Dekara for as long as I was able, and I intend to fulfill this duty with just as much dedication. I have heard that you've rejected the life of a tail woman. Please don't hold bitterness against Zarka for her role. She holds all the wisdom and knowledge of the Adora, and the stories of many other Akaras as well. Our traditions helped us survive as these lands turned to dust over the generations, and in many ways, that lush beauty still exists for us through her words. Sans guides you.
Care for a story? I have a very long official title, but you may simply address me as Zarka. The younger ones will harp on and on about our strict traditions, but I'm old enough to get away with it. So I do. My role is that of a keeper of tales. I was chosen by my predecessor, rather than being allowed to become a Dekara or perform other duties. I'm not permitted near combat, for the stories I keep are one of our most valuable resources. We understand the plains of Vastiri through the lens of these words handed down to us over the centuries. We see what used to lie where sand dwells now, and hear the bold proclamations and lamentations of yesteryear. That is my role, to be the worldly eyes and ears of the Ardura. Nasima, yes, Nasima. A great warrior, though with a complicated legacy. Born with eyes the color of blood, she was left to die among the dunes for being blind. But the Ferryden found her and raised her. A Balbalik, one might think, but no. She became an impressive warrior in her own right. And when called upon to raid her people, she recognized her mother's voice and turned and slaughtered her Ferryden captors. A true role model from the ancient days and a wonderful fairy tale for the children. This is the tale as it was told to me by our Akara's Tale Woman before me, and as told to her by the Tale Woman before her. These words have remained unchanged since the beginning. Many thousands of years ago, we were a simple people, hunters, roamers. We moved valley to valley in search of meat and berries. There was none of the discipline we know today, but that was about to change. These fair plains became barren and lightless. A time those generations called the winter of the world. 1,000 years of ice brought hardship and suffering, but that was only the beginning. To the south, the foreign tyrant An fell, and horrible creatures flooded forth under this darkness, seemingly born of bone and blood and foul magic. Survival meant banding together and creating the strict traditions that eventually became what we know today. To fight was to live. Disorder meant death. In the darkest depths of that era, when hope was but a memory, the twin sister Sekimas, Solarai and Landara, arose to unite our scattered peoples for the first time. They wielded the essence of gold and silver, gleaming with such ferocity that the grey skies had no choice but to give way. The creatures retreated under the sands, never to be seen again, and our fair plains blazed with emerald forests and sapphire rivers. This brought about the most glorious age of our people, a time of conquest, wealth, great heroes, and gods that lasted for another 1,000 years. But then, one fell winter, the gods vanished. Our beloved Garukan was the last to succumb, holding on for 2 moons against a powerful innovation. She gave what final orders she could, mandated our traditions be upheld, and then went silent. The Maraketh were not disturbed. We did not lose hope. We knew who we were, and those values had not left us with the departure of the gods. When the sky burned, when the Vaal fell, when the Eternals came and sought to be our masters, and then fell as well, we endured. We have protected these fair plains for 304 generations, and we will continue to do so for another 304. That is our duty and our birthright. She was a fierce warrior before she was blinded in battle. Focused, determined. Losing her sight has not changed that. I have no doubt that she will become skilled enough at blind fighting to rejoin the ranks someday. Indeed, blind Dekara were once instrumental in decimating an eternal legion during a sandstorm ambush. So it is not without precedent.
All right.
Do not wander.
I am Asala, the Sekima of the Ardura. I have heard of you, of course, but Zarka assures me you have almost served your time of banishment. Time will tell. So, the beast has entered the world once more. We were following a trail of corruption before we were waylaid, and now we shall resume the hunt. We Marquette are honored bound to seek and contain corruption wherever it may be found. It seems the sacred duty falls on us once more. The trail connects to 2 locations, but we don't know where the beast currently resides. I am willing to begin wherever you and your shade thinks is wisest. So, the beast, we Marquette, the trail connects to... So, we Marquette, the trail connects to... Foreigners often misunderstand the concept of the Sekima. I am no dictator, and do not make some pathetic claim of divine right. Emperors are for nations filled with the weak-minded and soft, as history has proven every time an empire falls and we endure. I am Sekima, because others have put their faith in me as the strongest and most capable among us. I lead because there is no better replacement. It is a role I deserve, by definition. This Oriana would find no allies among our Akaras. We are no strangers to the eternal war against corruption. If she has allies in this region, they cannot be of the Marqueth. After the Beast of Highgate was slain, all other Akaras vowed to pursue and eradicate corruption should it ever return. Never again will a sole Akara suffer the weight of history. Corruption has returned to the Vestiri. Before this season, the Haonic warriors you fought would never have dared raid a caravan. The dead have begun to rise again, and other creatures of the desert have started changing. By Zarka's accounts, the land is returning to the way it was before. These are ill times. Fight to the last.
The Halani gates have been closed? This has not happened for generations.
The Halani gates are closed for the first time in 1,000 years. This can only be related to the beast. We should investigate the Feridan's camp in the halls of Modon and demand answers. Corruption has returned to the Vestiri. Before this season, the Haonic warriors you fought would never have dared. The dead have begun. You have your orders.
This caravan is pulled by slaves. Lovely. Use desert map again. Go down there. Is there an exit over here as well? No.
It must be hard for some to
There is.
understand our older traditions. From what I can see, the Faridan have been preparing for war. This night now grows warm. Vile creature!
Artificer's orb, cool.
Fire take you!
Okay. More mining happening here. Book of Jamonra. Let's kill these guys first.
Our people have lived. Our people have lived in the shadows of the dunes for too long. Countless generations have been forgotten, will be forgotten. We are not Faradin. We are Maraketh. And if we work together, if we unite, then they will be forced to acknowledge us. We must show them that casting us off is a mistake. We must show them our strength. Perhaps we can one day rebuild Keth itself. For all those who live in the plains of Vastiri.
I have no space for that.
What have you... Quickly. Asala has agreed to aid us, exactly as I expected. The beast represents an existential threat to all the peoples of Rayclast, but even beyond that, she seems to be quite driven. She reminds me of a rambunctious young woman I once knew in Keth, who eventually rose to power, attained divinity, and led her people to greatness. Yes, I have seen the slaves pulling carts. I am uncomfortable with the practice, but from what I understand, it allows those captured in battle to serve rather than simply being executed. There are not enough resources to keep prisoners who do not work. In this harsh land, it is perhaps the lesser of two evils. That is, what I tell myself, at least. Time is short. Make haste.
What? Young one.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Is it as good as these jumbos? I don't think so, but it's a gooder.
Who goes there? As you wish. Blessings.
This isn't the place.
Okay.
make us sweat. Mine.
How? Go.
Care for a story? Speak up.
I'm watching.
Hello. Alright, just getting... I mean, I really do like that, so I think I'm going to keep
Do not
holding on to
wander.
that for now until I get a couple more of those. That as well. Salvage this. Sell this, and that. That.
I will tell your tale.
Stash this. Stash that. Still have not unlocked my fourth thing of those, so I still don't know how to get higher for that. Back to the portal. Okay.
Fall before me! Alright. What? Oh, no, we did end there. Close to gaining my level, that was nice. Probably leading to a boss. Fall before me!
Hole that leads to the mine. Okay. Checkpoint there. Maybe should look for the waypoint.
This mine was sealed with some still inside. Corruption seems to have taken them.
Okay. Checkpoint with the trunk. Got it.
Back, creature. Nothing.
Cool. Level 20. I gotta go all the way to there and then up to there and get these, and that'll be the long stretch. So I guess I better do it. Could even take this point back. Maybe even these 3 points.
Thing will stand in my way.
Because right now that mind over matter is actually a bit more of a hassle than it's worth. Is there no boss in this place? Guess not. That's a shame. Let's go back to town. Well, town, quote unquote. Kind of a really cool town, actually. It's like a caravan that just kind of rolls along.
How
Identify. Disenchant.
Hello?
Sell, 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 sell.
Do not wonder.
Scrap. And stash. What else was like? Oh, waypoint.
Fall before me. No mana. Didn't break a sweat. A rare treasure. Die, scum!
sand and steel, fire and iron, flesh and bone. What is the difference? Face of Faradun, mind of a traitor, serpent's tongue, scorpion stinger. Either way, now you pay with your life. Sand and steel, fire and iron.
Quickly.
Hello.
Help me! She's insane!
You'll burn, Marrakech scum! Burn, oppressor! Breathe it in! Burn, oppressors! For the Faradun! Burn, burn, burn!
Desert fire!
Slow down! Deep breath! Blind! Stand still! Flash!
She's coming!
For the Faradun!
Yeah, that's basically how everybody should die around me.
Flame wall, ignite. Solar orb, flame.
What are you waiting for? Winds praise you. 1,000 praises, my friend. I thought I would die here. Please take me back to your caravan, and I will tell you anything you want to know.
Okay.
Just don't touch me, Faridan.
How can I be of aid? They call themselves the Faradun in this era, but they have died out and been reborn many times. They are not an independent culture. They are the Marraketh's dark secret, the inevitable consequence of life's haphazard nature. A society cannot simply purge itself of the weak, the ill, or the disadvantaged. Those unwanted newborns abandoned among the dunes. They rarely die, no matter how much the Marraketh wish to make them simply disappear. No, they live. The Faradun are the shadow of the Marraketh, always just out of sight, always watching. They rescue those children and raise them up on the outside, looking in. An unspoken relief for the father and mother that must give up their child. But a gathering storm fated to one day return home with a fury. It takes courage to go against one's people. I once faced a similar decision. There were men and women like me who believed themselves to be exceptional. And they were correct. Terribly, horribly correct. I cursed myself to a permanent exile from my own peers by betraying them. I was unlike mortals, but hated by immortals. I was alone. I would do it all again, and I still might. Do whatever it takes.
I know what Jaman-Ra intends. Atop the burial spires of Deshar lie the Marraketh's most honored dead. The king has become driven by madness to seek any trace of ancient flesh from those of renown or power in life. He intends to feed their bodies to the horrific creature he keeps in a cage behind his throne. They call it the Beast. I have seen it, and the sight haunts my nightmares. The Halani gates are closed. Then Jaman-Ra must have succeeded in capturing them. He planned to close the gates to prevent the Marraketh from interrupting his harvest. A siege from the front would be impossible now. But there is another way. An ancient passage lost to time. It was used by the traitor Balbala. I can show you where it is, if you will use it to stop Jaman-Ra before it is too late. I am of the Faridun. You know us, Tail Woman. We are your unwanted and forgotten. Some time ago, a foreign woman came to us and offered us the power to seize what was ours. We took her deal. We had no idea what it would cost us. When she finally brought us the Beast, it was not the glorious power we'd been promised. It was horrifying. Those of us who did not want to make war, those of us who were afraid of the Beast, Jaman-Ra sealed us in the mine when his dreadnought was complete. This madness must end. Some may call me a traitor, but I do not seek the destruction of my brethren. I seek their salvation. You need not trust me. You will see the truth of my information soon enough. I ask nothing of you, only that you do what you know is right. This corruption that plagues the land, I cannot bring myself to fully believe it's the reason for my people's sickening turn. I know that when the Beast first came to us, when Jaman-Ra was raised from death, he quickly became covetous and prone to fits of rage. Soon that fervor gleamed in the eyes of those around him. You say it's his corruption, but I have not seen anything in my brothers and sisters that was not already there. Corruption may exist, yes, but it does not fully control. It only excuses. The Faridun are warring against the Marraketh because they desire to do so. They have always wanted this conflict. They want to make those who abandoned us suffer. What is that being? Does it travel with you? I would tell you not to trust a mysterious stranger in black, but that would make my own situation rather difficult. I cannot say I view the Maraket favorably, but there is no other power to which I can turn. Jaman-Ra is going mad, and I know that the Maraket will unite their scattered Akaras to confront him if the need is great enough. I believe that it is. The Maraket have no idea how great we number. We are larger than any one Akara by far, and my brothers and sisters hold a great bitterness, even before corruption came among us. Everything we do, from our garb to our food, is made opposite to the Maraket out of spite. I still feel some of that anger when I see them here, standing proud and colorful. Asala promises them a return to their glory days, but do they not have such glory now? I must pursue what I feel to be right. Asala might yet decide to have me put to death, or abandon me to the doom of the desert. I know these risks, but I had to try anyway. If you had seen the darkness rising in the hearts of my brothers and sisters, you would understand. I am not betraying them. I'm trying to save them from themselves. This Oriana, the one you called a countess, Jaman-Ra has declared her our queen. She first came to us from the south and seemed sympathetic to our cause. She promised us power, the power to take back our lives. She left for Azomite lands, vowing to return with something that would resurrect our greatest hero, Jaman-Ra. With that hope dangled before us, the Faridun united for the first time since his death. We prepared, as she asked. We took the quarry. We began working on the dreadnought. I am ashamed to admit that I was a devout believer in the cause. Until the day she kept her promise. She did return. She did bring the power to resurrect Jaman-Ra. She brought the beast. The sight of that thing chilled my soul. Those of us who objected to its presence were forced to work, mining and finishing the dreadnought. By the time we were done, madness was already rife, and we were sealed in the mine to die for supposedly betraying our people. Scylla! Quickly! The Halani gates are closed, but there is another way.
What have you learned? I was asleep during the era of Jaman-Ra. I cannot attest to the truth of Risu's tale, though I cannot say it is outside the realm of possibility. The Maraketh have strict traditions, erring on the side of brutal. Moves. Time is short. Make haste.
If you are traveling through Traitor's Passage, there is something I wish to ask of you. Did your Akara keep the tale of the traitor, Balbala? She is still sealed there, somewhere along the tunnel as an undying djinn. She served her sentence long ago, but knowledge of the location was lost. It is long past time to release her. Your Akara did not tell this tale. It is one of my favorites. Long ago, when Keth was the shining jewel of the Vastiri, and our trade routes were the envy of the known world, a weak-willed Sekima named Balbala betrayed her Akara for a promise of Welakaf, a mythical elixir said to bestow great power. She led a band of foreign warriors through secret paths to the top of the Halani gates. Taken by surprise, the Akara was slain to the last woman. What was her reward? Not Welakaf. The bandits put a spear through her gut in that very passage. A cautionary tale, yes. For her betrayal, the wise woman of that era enacted an ancient ritual, trapping Balbara's soul as a djinn for a sentence intended to be 1,000 years. It has been far more than 1,000 years. By Zarka's reckoning, at least 2 or 3. The stain of Balbala's betrayal has been lifted from her legacy, yet the knowledge of her prison was lost long ago. Publicly, I will decry them as loudly as anyone else. Privately, I understand. I do not condone their actions, but I have suffered some small portion of what they must feel their entire lives. To be honest, I expected them to turn on us eventually. This defector, Risu, will never be accepted by the Adura. You may trust her, and she may provide information about the enemy's intentions, but remember, she is a traitor to her people. We deal with our own traitors using excessive means. She is not one of us, so we do not consider it our duty to punish her, but neither will we protect her when the time comes. I have heard that you've rejected the life of a Tail woman. Please don't hold bitterness against Zarka for her role. She holds all the wisdom and knowledge of the Adora, and the stories of many other Akaras as well. Our traditions helped us survive as these lands turned to dust over the generations, and in many ways, that lush beauty still exists for us through her words. I remember her face from before the battle where I lost my sight. She is quite beautiful, and she has strength and cunning to match. I can think of no better leader for us. We, Adora, have put all our faith in Asala, and though we do not number enough to spark divinity in her, we still thrived under her leadership. Sans guide you.
Speak up. Jamanra? That's a tale I rarely tell. Every few generations, the Faradans stir up trouble. Jamanra was their most successful attempt at causing problems. A very long time ago, he spread dangerous ideas among the outcasts and spoke to the Maraketh as if they were equals. His offenses were so great, the Sekimas joined together to approach and rebuke him. The tale says that he was so in awe of the glory of our leaders, he ended his own life and chose to fall forgotten in the sands. It is a strange conclusion to his tale, I must admit, but this is what is told. If he has been somehow reanimated through corruption, he will have only one goal: harming us. Do not wander.
So, the outcasts have raised their new king from the grave, and he seeks to violate Deshar, to feed our honored dead to the beast. Such a transgression. Those vile dogs! Our city of the dead lies beyond the Halani gates. We should move to crush the Faradan immediately. Let us see if this defector's information is truthful. Infiltrate this supposed passage, find your way to the top of the gates without being detected, and then call for aid. I shall answer. If her information proves to be truthful, then she will live. If she is a deceiver sent to misdirect us, she will be left to die in the open desert, once again. Corruption has returned to the Vestiri. Before this season, the Haonic warriors you fought would never have dared raid a caravan. The dead have begun for glory.
I think I'm going to take a break and think about dinner. This is as good as any time to take a break, because I got a waypoint right there.
Passage is how the traitor betrayed her people. Now I explore its secrets.